Well, hello, Miss Carrie Folks Strang. How are you?
I'm doing well, Miss Petty. How are you, HP?
Well, I'm happy to have you. This is going to
Thank
be a
you.
good time.
I know.
I can't believe we finally worked it out. We've had some technical difficulties, but we're here.
Yes, we have a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm not that savvy.
Oh, yes, you are. If you're a former Miss Tennessee, you're pretty savvy.
Yes, they never required us to do anything technical or, I was never required to Zoom or anything like that. So although I've Zoomed, if you've been through COVID, you have Zoomed.
Yes, you have. You have
So
definitely Zoom. Okay, so let's talk about this pageant. So what was that like? I mean, I can't even imagine being in the Miss Tennessee pageant, much less the Miss America pageant. And I started thinking about you, Carrie. I watched you and didn't even know you at the time.
do you know what's funny as well? My husband Jeff is from the Atlantic City area where the Miss America pageant is. This is really crazy strange, okay? So he is from the Atlantic City area. He's from Ocean City, New Jersey, which is right at Atlantic City. And he was there and he worked on the boardwalk because he's in the casino industry and he's a gambler. He's in marketing.
Makes me think about the Kenny Rogers song.
You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, baby.
Right, right.
But anyway, he was there. His uncle, and his dad, as a matter of fact, his dad drove in the parade. You know, the shoe parade where you decorate your shoes, and they said, "Let me see your shoes." That's a big Miss America thing. Well, I did. We don't wear shoes in Tennessee, so I was barefoot. So mine was real easy. I didn't have much preparation in that capacity. But I know he was there. His aunt and mother had all these Miss America books and had all my information and stuff. It's really, really bizarre. The people that see you that you don't even know at the time.
Uh-huh. That is so bizarre when you think about it. It really
Yes, and it
is.
was a mere 30 years ago. So it was just like yesterday.
Yesterday, sister. It was yesterday.
30
It was
years, girl.
just a
30
couple
years.
just a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Just a couple. Okay, so tell me what it was like because when you were in that pageant, I was probably sitting there thinking, wow, like
In your diaper.
no,
I was sitting in my
no,
diaper.
no. In 1988, I was a junior in high school.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I
You're
really
right.
was. I was putting some thought into it. So what was your platform?
You know what? It was different then. We didn't necessarily have platforms and they were more, it was more where it was spontaneous. When you got your question on stage, you had no idea what they were going to ask. It wasn't about platform. We still wore swimsuits. And, but mine was mostly, Heather, just let me digress just a little bit. And I don't want to get too lengthy on this, but when I went to the Miss America pageant or Miss Tennessee pageant, even before that, I was under the same business management as Garth Brooks. It was Bob Doyle, Midsummer Music. He was a publisher and a manager in Nashville. And I had great management. Garth wasn't big yet. He was just a friend of mine that very talented. We sang demos together. He wrote demos. I sang the female version. He sang the male version. He was married to Sandy Brooks at the time, and we were just all poor and happy and hung out. And his guitar player, Ty England, who later also had a record deal, lived with him at the time, and they had Sasha the dog. It was just like a fraternity. It was really, it's almost surreal right now, just bringing all these memories up because it was just so great, but so unusual. And it just proves that you don't have a lot of money you don't have to have a lot of money to have just a fantastic time. And life was so great. But so I was with Bob Doyle Management. And I remember when I went to the Miss Tennessee pageant, we had to have an evening gown speech. And it's not that I wasn't prepared. I just never was really a pageant person. So I wasn't all well versed like everybody else had their whole wardrobe laid out since they were in sixth grade,
Right.
I was just more fly by night. But I called Garth. We stayed at Lambeth College in Jackson. That was our dormitory during the pageant. And I called Garth from the hallway phone. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, I am Miss Congeniality. So they had to tell me that I was going to be on live TV. They didn't tell me I was in the top 10, but they told me that I'm going to have a really quick dress change because it's live television. So I'm like, I've got to have an evening gown speech. And he's like, okay, let's work on this. He's like, and I sang the Patsy Cline standard Sweet Dreams. And he's like, all right. So my name is Carrie Strang. I'm a junior at the University of Tennessee. Oh, okay, we'll use this. My name is Carrie Folks, but I'd like to thank you folks for helping make my sweet dreams come true.
Is that what you said?
Cheese. That's what I said. Cheese. Yeah.
And so
thanks to the G-Man.
Did the crowd go wild?
They really did. What? And I was so Southern. I was like, my name is Carrie Folks, but I'd like to thank you folks for helping make my sweet dreams come true. And everybody was just like, you could kind of hear a "oh," like, was it "oh," like she's so cute, or "oh, bless her heart"?
So funny.
It was funny. It was funny.
So
and funny. I was Miss Congeniality. That means so much when the other ladies choose you. I mean, that's pretty high honor to me. So.
I mean, that's huge. So okay, let's back up. How, if you were not a pageant girl growing up,
which I wasn't.
You weren't. Okay.
I thought I slipped that in.
Well, you did. So I'm trying to put all this together. I'm trying to use this brain, these two neurons that I still have firing. Okay.
You have two?
I have two left. With 4 kids, I have 2 neurons left. Okay. So you were not into pageants growing up, but then you're Miss Tennessee. So how, and then you're in the Miss America pageant. So how did this happen? How did you end up as Miss Tennessee?
Okay. Well, all right. This is so fun. Okay. Ernie Lynn, Loretta Lynn's son. Okay. You follow me here? Played in my band when I was 17, 18, whatever. He's so talented. So talented. He plays with her now. He's guitar, fiddle. He can play anything with strings. It's just amazing. Incredible singer, incredible performer. And so I was performing in Humphreys County, where I'm from. Woohoo!
What's that population?
Shout out to Humphreys County. Shout out, woo-woo. And I was performing at the fair there, and Ernie was in the band, and Ernie was known to throw a couple back, Heather, if you know what I mean.
I know.
We'll just say he's just thirsty. But so there were people there because of the Miss Humphreys County pageant, and that there were people there that represented the Miss Tennessee pageant, and a lady named Linda Webb from Savannah, Tennessee was there, and she was like, "Have you ever thought about being in pageants?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I walk like a linebacker." I'm like, "No, I'm just no. I would have had to start way before now." And she's like, "Well, you sing really well. You carry yourself very well, and you have a great audience, a good banter with the audience, and you're great on stage." And I'm like, no. Well, she talked to my mother, so Carolyn, she got a hold of Carolyn. And so they started talking about the scholarship. The Miss Tennessee program, or the Miss America program, is the biggest women's scholarship program in the world. And so so I wanted to go to Belmont University, and it's a little pricey. So yes. I entered the Miss Bluegrass Festival in Savannah, Tennessee, and won, and then went to Miss Tennessee. And there, I mean, it was like pow, pow, pow. Wow. I mean, I know.
I can't even imagine. And yeah, so you were in top 10 in this Miss America.
I was a non-finalist talent winner, and I won talent. So I was invited to do a tour abroad called the Miss America Troupe, which is a USO tour of the troops. For I can't remember, it was a long time. It was a couple of months, but when you're 19, 20, it seems like years. We were gone. We went to all over Asia, Guam, Commonwealth of the United States. Anywhere, Cuba, or Turkey, I believe in this one, Egypt. We were all over. And it was great singing for the troops. And we did this choreographed show, and with 7 other pageant with the 7 other states, and they're still my friends. We stay really, really close. They're just amazing, amazing women. And it was so much fun and such a highlight in my life. And I remember when they asked me to go, and I was talking to Bob Doyle, and I was like, I've been invited to go on this Miss America tour. I said, it's a really good honor. I'm like, but what if you get famous while I'm gone? And spoken straight from the lips of a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. And he's like, I would give anything to be able to do a tour like that, Carrie. You are absolutely going. And sure enough, while I was gone, he did amazing, amazing things. And it all started from there. And I'm proud to say that we're still friends, and Trisha as well.
So, because you went to college with Trisha Yearwood. So she was at Belmont when you were there, right?
She was. She's a few years older than me. So she was finishing up while I was there. But we worked together musically, and we were friends that way, but not as much in college because she was leaving when I was getting there and stuff. But Music Row, if you're at Belmont University, Music Row is literally like it's perpendicular to the university. It's right walking distance. It's right in the center of Music Row. So it's very handy if you're a musician.
Yes, I've walked it. And what's so funny is it doesn't look like it's a big deal. When you walk down Music Row, I mean, you expect it to be in your mind like Vegas, and it looks like
Really?
a normal, like a grandpa, grandma. Yeah, it looks like a grandpa, grandma street.
All the studios, all the publishing companies, all the production companies, everything are in old homes, like historical homes in Nashville, beautiful historical homes. But they've all been made up. They've all been gutted and soundproofed and everything. And Alan Reynolds, who produced Garth Brooks, his studio was basically right across the street from our management company, walking distance. And it was just an old 3-story home that they had gutted and put a studio in. And amazing. It's amazing to me. Such a incredible part of my life.
Incredible, Carrie. It really is. It's incredible. I mean, you have so many great stories that I would love to expand on. So you have 2 boys.
I do.
And they're fabulous. And their ages are
13 and 16.
13 and 16.
And Gavin, my 13-year-old, is in your son Reed's class. And
That's
they're
right.
buddies. They play on the same football team.
That's right.
Small world.
Small world. So what did they say about your former life? I mean, did they realize all that you've accomplished?
Do you know this one just tears my sister up. They have never seen the film and the footage of me winning Miss Tennessee or my honors from Miss America.
Wow, we need to get some popcorn and have a Carrie night.
My sister has said that so many times.
We do.
We just never, I did a TV show for Disney as well, and they have never seen any of that footage. They're boys, they're just like, oh yeah, my mom did some TV, and I showed them a couple of commercials that I did that I sang for because they're kind of funny. There's that's a whole different cast.
Okay, so tell me, I want to hear about these commercials. So who did you do commercials for?
Well, I did a lot of casinos, and this was even before Jeff, so no tie there. I don't know how that really played out, but did the Lady Luck commercials, and I did some back when they sold CDs on TV. I did a lot of those, and so I was the girl that ran out of the ocean up to the convertible Mustang to the buff guy who was probably gay anyway, and so I was that girl, and then I sang, and then when the producers of those commercials found out that I was singing, I started singing jingles and doing voiceover work, and how one thing kind of leads to another, and
right,
so commercials are it. It's pretty cool. Doing jingles and voiceover work is fantastic.
Okay, I want to hear a jingle. Do you remember one?
Oh Lord!
You're gonna kill
my
me.
gosh! Let's say no. Let's say. Oh, lady, like. I was they come on and play. There was like a commercial and it was like, come on and play, and I'd go, come on and play. And I got on an airplane once, and you know how at Southwest the first row you used to face the second row. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So I was facing the front of the plane, and they were two little boys and their mother facing the back, and they were talking to their mother and looking at me, and they're like, the mother said, "My sons want to know if you are the come on and play lady." And I'm like, "Indeed, I am." So come on and play. Come on and play. I can't even sing that one. I'll have to get back to you on that. It's been a while. You know
So
that
did
the
you
two
sing
cells that
it
are
at the
going
time? Oh, I
play,
know. The two neurons.
bang, bang. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
they're struggling.
they're stressing.
They're struggling. Yeah,
They're
they're
struggling.
struggling. I'm trying to keep them hydrated.
Yeah, you have to do that. Do what it takes. So did you sing it for these boys that day?
Likely I did, but it was come on and play. Come on and play. And it was everywhere. And it was like, come on and play. And I'm like, if I say it one more time, I will go nuts. But I did all the Lady Lucks, but at the time they were 8, 10 or so. And so I traveled back and forth to Los Angeles and to Southern California. I mean, into Southern Florida, and a lot of traveling.
Okay, so is that how you got this Disney job, hosting?
No, the Disney job was through the same management that I had with Garth. That was
Okay.
Bob Doyle. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about that.
Okay. Buena Vista Television is a big production company in Los Angeles, and it produced shows like, you remember Tool Time with Tim
Yes.
Allen? It had that and several shows. It's just really, really huge, but it's Disney based. Buena Vista Television is Disney based, and so they had this countdown television show called Countdown at the Neon Armadillo, and I was always told you're too young to sing yet. Just, go ahead and finish college, and you're always too young. You start now. They're like 10, but in the day, with Loretta and Conway and everybody, they were a little bit more mature. So it's like, just, do this TV show. Let's audition you for this TV show. Do that for a while, finish college, blah, blah, blah. So, you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. When you're 12, it gets, it doesn't get old. It never got old, but I just kept working and working and working. I auditioned for the Countdown at the Neon Armadillo. Got that. I hosted it with a gentleman named John Burke, and we're still really good friends. He is an actor out of New York. So he was out of New York and I was out of Nashville, and we commuted to Burbank, which we commuted to Burbank. And then when we got to Burbank, we went to Orlando, because Orlando is where the show was videoed. So it was all corners of the United States constantly. I mean, just totally constantly. But it was great. It was a phenomenal show. Countdown of the top 10 songs of the week for country music. And we would have those artists on the show, the top 10.
Wow.
They would be on the show, and we would showcase them as artists. And it was pretty neat. It was a pretty big deal, and I loved every second of it. Bubba Kennedy did my hair, and we're still really good friends. He still lives in Orlando, and we're still really good friends. So it's so funny what structures your life, isn't it?
It is so strange to me now.
It is. I know. And where all the people came from, all my people. Where did my people come from? Bubba and Garth and Trisha and Bob and the MissTennessee people, and Linda Webb, who was like a second mother to me, the one that started the whole MissTennessee thing. She was the executive director of the Bluegrass Festival, which talked me into doing pageants to begin with, which I never thought would be possible ever. I didn't walk the walk or talk the talk at all. Still don't, but they make fun of that, and I love it. It's part of who I am. But it's been an interesting ride. I look back and it just doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem like you'd be able to fit all my stories and everything that's happened into my short 30 years of life.
Yeah, I understand.
For a 30-year-old, I have done a lot.
Yes, you have. For a 30-year-old, you definitely have. I just think it's so neat, because I look back, I don't know about you, and I think about what I've learned from each person. Do you ever do that? You look back and you go, And it sounds like something that a 95-year-old would do, but I really do. I mean, I look and I go, I learned this from this person, and they didn't even know that they taught me this lesson. I mean, maybe it wasn't even a big lesson, but the way it impacts your life is just remarkable
It
sometimes.
is. That is so funny that you say that, because yes, everyone that has added an intricate part to my life. I mean, there's so many people. Some are of the Garth status, some are of the Linda Webb status. You know, some people that you've never heard of, and then some are bigger than life. And but every one in one way or another impacted my life in such a huge way, them equally, because it's just amazing. And I could go on and on and on, but it's funny. Somebody, you'll have a flashback of somebody that you barely knew, but how they could have impacted your life in such a huge way.
Yes, it's true. And even, I mean, I think you're like me. I think we're very similar, that we like to know people, and we
Mm-hmm.
like to like genuinely know people and
Yeah.
make connections. And it's not even, it can be the lady at Kroger that
Right.
loads the groceries. There was this
Mm-hmm.
one lady that used to work named Chantel, and she was the hardest worker I've ever seen in my life, and always, it's just, always smiling. It's just everybody. I know you feel the same way because you're,
Isn't that funny? Yeah, I
yes.
know. It's yeah. I think we are a lot alike in that aspect. I amazing. Yeah, Chantel, and you see
Chantel,
her every time you go to Kroger, and she works so hard, and you think,
yeah,
you get there and you think, man, I've really put in a day today. I've really put in a hard day today. And you go and you're like, no, I haven't. Not compared to Chantel,
right, right. It's
So, right.
true. It's
And
true.
I agree.
Okay, so back to the pageant again. I want to know about one more thing.
Okay.
All
That's
right,
fine.
let's talk about this bathing suit. I
Uh,
mean, I can't even imagine putting on heels. So, did you have everything taped up? Is that a rumor, or did they really
yeah,
tape you
they,
under your top? And
you really don't need to tape as much when you're 20 as you do when you're
right.
30, you know, but, or 54, however old you guys happen to be,
Right.
but, there was a spray. It was called Firm Grip, and tennis players spray it on their hands so that their hands will grip the racket and not lose a grip when they're all sweaty and stuff. It's called Firm Grip. Well, you spray that on your cheeks, your butt cheeks, and it keeps your bathing suit from riding up. So you spray a little Firm Grip on your butt cheeks, and it keeps your bathing suit from riding up in your butt crack. Excuse me, censor. Well, it is what it is. I guess if they're going to put it on TV, you're allowed to
You
say,
can do it. You can do
right,
it.
do it. But you spray the firm grip on your booty, and it helps from that end. And Ada Duckett is a famous. She made a lot of the swimsuits. If you had an Ada Duckett swimsuit, you had it made. So I had an Ada Duckett swimsuit. It was one of the things that I won from Miss Tennessee, and it was phenomenal. And we actually had two swimsuits, one that we wore on stage, and then one we wore on the boardwalk. And mine was an American flag. It was stars and stripes from the uh, impure down. So from the chest down, it was stripes. And from here up, it was stars with a navy background. And this was white and red and stripes. So I looked like a big old American flag walking around out there. So it's pretty, that was pretty neat. That you wanted to get the attention of the press. And sure
Okay.
enough, it made the Atlantic City paper. And I have that somewhere. But so the swimsuit, it's not as bad as you think, because when you're 20,
Yeah.
you really don't have that many reservations about walking around in your swimsuit, and everything's tight and pretty and smooth. So you're like, I got this. Now, yeah, you just have to. I'd have to
Oh,
on that one.
yeah. I can't get past shorts and a tutu right now. So if they don't
Yeah,
allow
you wear
that, then
tutus.
I do
I'd
wear
like
a
to see your
tutu.
tutu. Really? Do you
Hmm.
have it on now? Do you mind if
No, but if I
I
don't
would
have it
really
on
like to see your tutu. Did you wear it to the scrimmage Thursday?
So I wear it at the beach or to the pool. Not,
I'm very sorry to hear that.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
normally wear it to football games, but
Let's
just if I'm gonna swim, then
let's lose the tutu. You talking about
that's That's what my friends have told me, that I need to
Well,
lose the
I'm your
skirt.
friend, and
Yeah, yeah.
from the bottom of my heart, I'm going to ask you to lose the tutu, and to, for the my love for you.
Uh-huh. You won't be seen with me in the tutu, in other
I will
words.
not. No, I
You
will
will
not.
not. Okay.
Even though, I love you dearly,
Okay.
and I will be seen with you after you take it off, and I'll be fine. But during, we're
Okay.
just gonna, yeah,
Okay.
we'll lose the tutu. Yeah.
No girls' beach trips
Now,
with you in a tutu. You're
we're
not
gonna
having
take
it.
the
You
tutu.
are not having it, are you, Carrie? You're not
Tutu,
having it.
no.
I know.
No, you don't need a tutu. You're too cute.
Oh, thank you. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet of you
Yeah.
to say that. Okay, so now let's talk about now. So fast forward, you did the Disney, you did all that.
That was great. I loved Countdown. Countdown was phenomenal. It was so incredible. It was so fun. Nashville and Music Row is such a small fraternity of musicians and people. You would think that it was just huge and everybody spread out, but you're right there. So I knew a lot of the artists that performed on the show already. So I wasn't like stargazed, but it was just, it added a lot that I knew them already, because it was like not a first name basis, but they knew me. Then it was like Clint Black. This was a while ago, Clint Black, Doug Stone, Garth, Toby Keith, Trisha, a lot of stars that are still stars, but they were really getting off the ground at this point in time. And we just established a little bit of relationship, and it's so nice to know these people and to know them now on the rare occasion if I happen to run into them. But it's Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, those people. Leanne Womack. Do you know Leanne Womack?
I do not know her personally.
Well, I mean, as a singer, she's a really good singer. She was
I do know
actually
who she
in the
is.
Miss Tennessee pageant the year I won. I know. And she went to
Wow.
Belmont with me as well. So it's a really small world. It's really small.
It is small. Okay, I have to ask you this though. So you were a singer, you're beautiful, you are a singer and you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I have the moves, Carrie. I have all the moves. Like I was a big Ronja. I'm sorry.
Could I see those?
Yeah, I'll show them to you another time. But I have the moves. I just don't have the voice. I don't have the look. I don't have the looks or the voice, but I've got the moves. So did you have the moves already, or did you have to learn the moves? Because I've got the moves.
I do not have the moves.
You don't? I can help you with that.
I am moveless. You will have to help me with the moves.
I can help you.
Oh my goodness. Could you help me with the move? I am basically moveless.
Do you do the rock back and forth with your microphone?
Just
stand and rock back and forth, or what do you do? If you don't have the moves, what are you doing up
like
there?
The boys and the girls bake, they dance, No,
yes.
I just, when the music is going, I'm a different person. But I don't dance a lot. I feel whatever it is that I'm singing at that time. But girls' first moves go, God did not give me the move gene.
Okay. So do you take it down low when you're singing? You know how they'll rock it down low and kind of squat down and then pop back up real fast, or anything?
No squatting. No squatting. No. As a matter of fact, I think back a lot of costumes that I wore would not have allowed the squatting position as well.
Okay.
I would have burst the seam. But
now they just squat anyway. They just do it anyway. It doesn't matter what kind of costume. They just
they don't have seams. Yeah, there are no seams.
They don't have to worry about it.
No, they just squat and a couple of people come to mind, as a matter of fact. Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's no seams there.
No, there's no.
She can squat.
No.
She's on that wrecking ball.
That's a reason not to be.
Ball, baby.
Yeah, that's a reason not to be in the industry now. If you have to get on the wrecking ball,
Amen to that, girl. The last time I was on a wrecking ball, I can't.
Okay, so did you sang at the Miss Tennessee pageant over the summer? What was that like?
I hosted it and I performed as well, and it was great. It was fantastic. It was a lot of old friends back together. Like, we're getting the band back together, so it was a lot of old friends back together, a lot of new friends, a lot of girls that were little bitty children that are now adults that came up after the show and wanted to talk. I remember when you won, I was in first grade, and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Move along. Move on along. No. But I'm kidding.
It's so
But
funny.
it's very, very neat. It's at the Cannon Center. It's beautiful, beautiful place to hold the Miss Tennessee competition. And it was great. Now, I hosted it last year as well during COVID. And so that was a challenge. That was amazing. I mean, barely anybody in the audience. So you're basically performing to a streaming audience and pretending like you're performing for this huge crowd. And so that was new for me. That was new. So they don't show the audience, but there's really nobody there. And the audience reaction is kind of piped in and really unusual. But last year it was good. It was a lot better.
Okay. Well, do you think when the boys graduate, because this is what I tell moms when I coach moms, I tell them you need to go ahead and make a plan for when don't start crying when I say this, for when your children graduate and leave the nest. Make a plan now and start working towards it so you have something to think about and do. And progress. She's starting to tear up. Don't do it. So are you going to sing? Do you think you'll get back out there again when they're...
No, listen, I have the best run. I've been to Egypt 3 times. I have seen Korea. I've seen Japan. I've seen Italy. I've seen just about everywhere there is to see. And I am so proud of that. And I had a great, great time, but it is exhausting. I look at like Martina and Faith, and they have raised their children and done a phenomenal job. But I couldn't do it. It's time for me to rest. I started really early, so I got my time in, and I've sown my oats.
I'm going to save this and play this back to you because I have a feeling you're going to be singing again, Carrie. I do. Okay, what's going on right now in your world? So what are you doing? You're raising the boys, and you have this fabulous husband, Jeff. So tell me what else is going on in your world.
Wow. I work with furniture, and I do a lot of work with furniture, and I help people decorate. And I love to refurbish furniture that I find throughout the state. I go all over the state to find furniture that I think deserves a second chance, like the better quality furniture, and that they're just not really making any longer, and refurbish it and bring it back to life and share it with our area and that type of thing. So that keeps me really busy. I do that a lot.
Oh, I'm sure. So do you have a brick and mortar, or how do you... tell me more about it? Where do you store your furniture?
Well, I have storage units, and I keep them I keep it in storage units, and I'll just, as I feel it, I'll bring it out and refurbish it, redo it, and then I will move it on to someone else and let them enjoy it. And I absolutely love making people happy, and they'll get a piece of furniture that's worth so much, and that maybe otherwise they wouldn't be able to afford, and I can help them afford that and make their house beautiful.
Okay. So what about your neighbors? I bet your neighbors are like, wow, we have Miss Tennessee in our neighborhood.
They are so excited to have me. Heather, let me expound on this. My neighbors absolutely love that I live here. Let's see, let me give some examples. They've called the HOA several times because of my trailer and giving my furniture to these wonderful, deserving people that are so excited to receive it. They don't seem to like that. And so they called the HOA, who we had a nice meeting here last Sunday at my home.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we had a beautiful Sunday afternoon meeting with the head of the HOA. And
did you serve cookies, cake, anything like that?
No, I did ask them, but they declined.
Okay.
Yeah, they declined my offer of snacks or beverages. And they declined. They just weren't receptive to my hospitality. at all. And as a matter of fact, they had also invited the city of Germantown to come to my home because of my my furniture hobby. So yes, it's really it's kind of hard to believe, to be honest, because I have, I keep a very clean, nice house. I don't bother anyone at all, and I never had a clue that I was bothering my neighbors. For one thing, no one has ever said anything to me. I thought that you and I are from small towns, so
yes,
we would expect if someone had a problem, what would they do, Heather?
yeah, they would come to you.
Bingo!
Right?
You're a genius, Heather. That's what you do. If you're my son has a mowing business. He's 16, has a mowing. He's got the best work ethic, and I just absolutely love it. If he leaves his trailer on the driveway, they call the HOA. And granted, we know that we're not supposed to have the trailer on the driveway for any extended period of time. But my Lord, are you supposed to drive it right into the foyer? It's like, Griffin, you're gonna have to park that trailer in the foyer so Betsy and Benny across the street don't get angry again. Just pull that right on into the dining room, honey. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, when is there a no rules time? You pull the trailer into the driveway, and it's like 6 or 7 neighbors around me are salivating, ready to call the HOA. And unbeknownst to us, we didn't know it until we get this letter that now granted, I'm going to take that back. They have told us that the trailer does not belong in the driveway, and we're like, you know what? We respect that. We will keep it behind the house. We have a place that we put it in the backyard through the gate. Our gate, because it was open and closed a lot, needed some work, needed new hinges and stuff. And he is coming Friday. He's coming Friday to do that. I switched who's doing it. His name is Ty. He's with a fence company here in town. He's very good. I'd give him a shout out, but I can't think of the name of his business right now. But super, super guy. And I come in to fix that. So that'll make that part better. But they came to my home telling me that it was because of the trailer, and then they come, when they get in, they throw all this stuff about that I've been selling furniture on Marketplace, that I've been selling things on Marketplace. And I'm like, so when is that bad? Everybody in this neighborhood either buys or sells on Marketplace. They bought for me. Everybody. They bought for me. I could pinpoint, I can look out this window right here and tell you who's bought for me. And, so I'm like, when is that, so apparently they are having a problem with people picking it up at my home, which is maybe once every 2 weeks.
HOAs I did not understand. I mean, I've had some experience with HOAs with the condo, but not, I mean, HOAs are serious business in a town
but
like
I respect
Germantown.
it. I respect the homeowners association. They keep people from coming in and putting statues of pigs in my mother and daddy had a neighbor that had 3 pigs in their yard. And they didn't have an HOA in our hometown. We didn't, but the pigs, they were fine. They'll keep people from doing obtrusive decoration within reason, and keep their yard nice and that. And I respect that.
Right.
But I cannot believe that the amount of people that come to my house to pick up is a problem.
Right.
They
don't realize you're Miss Tennessee. They do not understand
today,
that.
I'm going to have a sign and post it in the yard. That way they'll know, and they won't bother me.
Right.
That'll make a huge difference. I'm quite
a huge difference.
No, I'm going to go with no on that one. I'm going to go with no. This lady that was here in my house,
she doesn't care.
Not in the least. As a matter of fact, it might even make her.
You need to move to the country, Carrie.
I'm beginning to agree.
That's where
we can move in with you.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That's the plan. Let me call Jeff.
Okay, we're going to end it right here.
All right. We should. As we should before I start packing my bags.
This is so fun. I have
You're
loved
a
this,
mess. I
Carrie.
love you, HP.
I love you too, Carrie. Too fun. We'll have to do it again. We'll have to do it again.
Come over. Let's go eat or something.
That sounds good. And good luck with your HOA.
Thank you, girl. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Toodles.